Hello, good evening. Welcome to Guns and Yellow Ribbons. My name is Fergus. I'm your host, joined by my mate Gunnar Hilsey and Danish Gunnar Alex. I'm still full of this lurgy that stopped us doing Friday night show, but we're back tonight because we're just martyrs. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to another podcast by Guns and Yellow Ribbons. This is your Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, boys. I've proper taken down with this lurgy sort of stuff. Struggled with work and everything else today, but I managed to survive Saturday night. I don't know whether it was the early start in my local pub, down to my local Highbury pub, and then into a late kickoff. The game flew by. I don't remember much of it. Only joking. Alex, how are you? Haven't spoken to you in ages, mate. Not while I'm here.
I'm very good. Probably a bit more sober than you were on Saturday, so I might remember a bit more of the game. But yeah, I'm very good. Just busy with the last preparations ahead of Christmas and heading back to my parents on Friday. So just getting all the stuff ready.
And your Christmas, you do more Christmas Eve than Christmas Day, or do you do the traditional English way as well? Or you do both? Or
we do both. So the traditional Danish on the 24th, and then the English on the 25th, Christmas lunch. So yeah, a lot of food will be consumed over the next couple of weeks. Look forward to it.
Trevor, you don't consume food anymore, do you?
No, he doesn't.
No, he just looks at it and sniffs it.
Well, I've given myself 4 days off over Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and the day after. We've got loads of goodies in, so I'm going for that. I'm going for it. I'm going to maybe put a few pound on, but I don't care because I've done the job. Listen, boys, who needs set pieces, right? Who needs set pieces when you've got own goals? Has that boiled some this week or what?
Well, I bumped into an unhappy Hammer this afternoon. I said, how'd you get on the weekend? You watched the game? He said, no, I had a party, had to do something with his kids and stuff like that. He said, how'd you get on? I said, oh, we won, but we didn't score any goals. And he went, you what? Is that something new? I said, yeah, it's the Arsenal way, isn't it? He said, what do you mean? And I explained how it went. Listen, we'll go into that, but we want to talk about a few other topics as well, because we missed out Friday night. So this might be slightly, not hugely longer than normal, but slightly longer. Want to touch...
An hour's enough in your company, Fergus.
Oh, that suits me. I just know what you're like. You'll get wound up when you get into this, and you will not stop. We want to talk about a little bit about Bruges away, because you want to talk about a Friday night. And also the World Cup tickets. Then we'll go into late kickoffs, winning without scoring, the reactions, the recovery, and the game itself.
And
Trevor,
don't forget we've got sponsors now, Fergus. Don't forget
we do have sponsors. We do have sponsors, and you know what? It's probably an apt time to do it. Let me just find all my right buttons, and I'll put it up. So here we go. You could have given me a little bit more warning. But yeah, so we do have a sponsor now that we have. It's Complete Nutrition. Complete Nutrition are a proud sponsor of Guns and Yellow Ribbons podcast. They're an English, a UK-based nutrition company by UK fans, designed by UK fans, made for UK fans. So a bit like us in that way. They start in January, Trevor. It was just nice of them to reach out. They're like just local lads, sort of thing.
Yeah, and they didn't want a lot from us. They're good people, and I'm happy to back them on here, Ferg. They're big believers that strength isn't physical, starts in the mind, and what they're doing is not just for people that go to the gym and work out. It's for everybody or anybody that might have a bit of a strenuous lifestyle,
What they've asked us to do for now is for you to go over and just follow them on socials. So on Instagram and on Twitter and all the various social platforms. And then come January, when they are up and running, if you use the code Gunner, you'll get 10% off. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Alex, do you take any supplements? I clearly do, but they come in lager form.
Not hugely, but I might need to do so after all that Christmas food. So it might be a good time to start in January after all the food's consumed.
Yeah, brilliant.
Look at me. I'm like a stick insect in between two Georgie Porges, isn't I, tonight? Eh?
It's like a bramble bush, more like full of thorns.
Oh.
Right, so let's talk Bruges your way. Trevor, you went over to Bruges. It looked absolutely amazing. Beautiful city, beautiful Christmas markets, good results, and great company by the looks of it.
It was, do you know what? It was one of the very, very best European away trips. You're right, Fergus. It is a beautiful country. You're right again, Fergus. It is a beautiful city. You're right again. We had a wonderful time, although I can't remember much of the Monday night. Me, Dan and myself, we were in the Christmas market. A few little Christmas markets dotted around, and started off on the mulled wines. Then we had mulled wines with rum in it. Then we had a few beers. Then for some reason we had a couple of white wines, and after that the minds are blank. But I got up the following morning feeling all right. So I had a lucky. I recommend Bruges Christmas to anybody.
That is only probably because you went to bed about. Well, I spoke. I saw you on a FaceTime at 6:30, just after this photograph was taken.
I didn't go to bed. I just passed out. I can't. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Trevor, you could not string. You just went. I'm done.
I've never been. I've not been like that. I can't remember ever being that bad, boys. But I learned my lesson. Dan didn't, because the following night he was just as bad, whereas I was fine. So yeah. But nothing embarrassing happened. I didn't get aggressive with anybody, so I'm all good. Clear conscience. Great day.
Alex, Noni Madueke got a couple of smashing goals, and Martinelli got one as well. Really good result. Makes a 6 out of 6 in the Champions League. Comprehensive win takes us to the brink of automatic qualification for the next round of 16 with 2 games remaining. We'll probably, the way things are going as well, finish top 4. What did you make of the game in your over? Just summary of how it went.
Yeah, I think it was an opportunity for loads of rotation, which Arteta he seized, and he played, what was it, Nørgaard at centre back. Probably didn't see that one coming.
Which Trevor gave us the man of match because he's into his Danish loving, isn't he?
He likes his Danish people.
Yeah, he does.
And then obviously the likes. He did play well. The likes of Madueke as well, and he really grabbed his opportunity. And I thought he played outstanding. And then obviously a debut as well for Marley Salmon. Another youngster come through our academy who's now gone on to play in the Champions League for us. And yeah, I thought it was just a perfect game. And yeah, we've pretty much got a perfect record in the Champions League. And yeah, I think we can afford to lose, draw or lose against Inter. And then as long as we win against Almaty in the final home game, we should be secured top 2, which will give us the home advantage all the way to the final, I think.
Yeah, it does. Unless
what do you mean?
Unless we,
what do
you
you
get
mean?
home with that. You get
in the second leg.
What do you mean all the way to your final? You think? Leave the I think off the end. Just put all the way to the final. We're not going. We're not going out. So you don't have to think about it, Alex. All the way to the final, son. Come on, what's the matter with you two tonight?
You're in a good mood tonight, aren't you, Trev?
Trevor, you're really annoying tonight. Really are. You've been annoying before we went live, and
I'm doing my very best.
You're succeeding very, very much. What was it like in that away end? There was no cover, and I believe the facilities were dreadful.
Do you know what? It was it's a horrible looking stadium, right? Holds about 30,000. It's about 4 miles out of town, and the away end is in a corner. No cover on it. Steep steps. Fergus, you'd have never got up them. You'd have needed, steep steps. No handrails.
I would have come down them like I did at PSV and broke my coccyx.
Yeah.
That was fun.
The seats, they weren't proper seats, just bits of plastic screwed to the concrete. And do you know what, boys? What really bugs me, and I know it's little things and little minds and that, is that the week before I'm watching the World Cup draw, I'm watching FIFA spend billions on a glitzy, all singing, all dancing World Cup draw and giving people medals for doing nothing, spending all that money. And as a proper fan, I'm being made to stand out in the rain and the cold still without a seat or an handrail. You know what I mean? And they care about us. Of course, they don't care about us. We'll talk about that in a minute, though. But other than that, it was a good week.
And a good game. And what was the celebrations like? Noni's goal, like his first one was outstanding. Second was equally good. But
did you get to see it? Because we know some of our friends missed it. Jason missed it, didn't he?
Jason was consoling a man that was a bit upset. So when he came back, we got the one of the lads got the goal on his phone and showed him. But yeah, and we were at the opposite end, you see, but on that side of the pitch. And when he hit it, you could see it curl and dip into the net, and you thought, "Oh yes, that's a screamer, absolute screamer." But I'll tell you what, boys, he don't get enough credit for taking up the position for the second one. You know, the header was a good header, great ball in, good header, and then of course Martinelli did what he does best. It was a great trip because it was a great place, great company, great place we stayed in, and the football was perfect. You know, for the team we put out. The only thing that was a bit saddening was the fact that they'd warned us not to walk to or from the ground, so they laid buses on there and buses on back, and they worked really well. Apart from a few of the lads decided to walk back after the game, you know, not thugs, older people, and these thugs jumped out of nowhere and give them an hiding, which was really, really disappointing. Yes, I know they should have listened to police instructions. But, you know, being someone that goes to away games all the time, it grates with me a bit because we're still painted as hooligans, us English fans, you know. And trust me, there is far, far worse in almost every country in Europe. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a bit sad, but it didn't sour the trip.
No, I read that, and, you know, I've been... Not nearly as many games as you, but I've been away and in Europe and in France, in particular France and Belgium and places like that. The police don't even like. You see how the police treat away fans, even if you look at the Wearside derby. You know, everyone's treated with a bit of respect. There's no riot shields. There's no all that sort of stuff, unless it's really necessary, which it generally isn't required at most games. But you know, it's ridiculous. I don't know. You go to Brøndby versus Copenhagen, which is quite a heated derby in Copenhagen. How are the police there? What are police like in Denmark?
Violent. They're very violent at the football games, and then obviously the game you mentioned, they're still not allowed to have any away fans, so that makes it a bit easier for the police to police the games. But obviously the reason why there is no away fans is because the police can't handle the fans. So that just tells how difficult of a time they're having, the police, with handling the football fans. So yeah, it's a problem. Even though
not to go down the wormhole too far, but what is it like going to an away game if you go at Brøndby to, I don't know, Sonnenberg, for example? I'm only just making up a team, but you know what I mean. Is it the same as doing Arsenal away to Sunderland and Newcastle like we did recently?
Yeah, it'd be similar. It's mostly just the like high profile big games, the derbies. All other games, they're just fine. It's just like the derby games that cause a lot of trouble.
Okay.
Maybe
we didn't have.
Maybe supporters in European countries need to learn a little from us law-abiding, respectful English fans, eh? Maybe it's gone full circle, as things often do in this world, and they're getting their priorities in the wrong place. Who knows?
That's type of where I was going, Trev. Well done. We didn't have a derby this weekend, but we did have.
I have got to him, and I look. He's biting now, right?
No, I'm not biting. I've just got this stinking cold.
This could be an interesting 45 minutes coming up, people. Please do not move your tuner. Please remain tuned in, because we're 15 minutes in and I've got him bubbling already. In another 45, he may well walk out. Who knows? Watch this.
So I'll probably need a piss by then for sure. Arsenal top of the league versus Wolves bottom of the league. Before this game, I'd even said to people, what do you expect? I expected something like 4-5-6-0 to Arsenal, but in the same breath, as soon as I said it, I said it could easily be one of those frustrating days of a 0-0. Alex, what were you expecting beforehand? You saw what Man United had done to them the week before.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of that, the Man United game, and then also us seeing with our sort of B team or a lot of players who aren't playing regularly, smashing Bruges. I think we went in with a lot of confidence and at home, and I think a lot of us wanted a certain number 14 of ours to get going and sort of score a couple of goals, and it seemed like the perfect opportunity to sort of click offensively against the Wolves team, who's just been leaking goals. And I mean, they are kind of an ongoing joke right now in the Premier League. Sort of a triangle has more points than Wolves. They've just been really, really poor this season, haven't they? So yeah, I mean, I was expecting an easy game for us, even though there isn't any easy games in the Premier League usually. But surely this one, I think, yeah, just the way we've been playing and the way Wolves have been conceding, I was expecting more than what we got in the game.
Trevor, there was some changes in the lineup, as Alex alluded to. Back four was the sixth combination of defenders we've had so far this season in 16 games. White, Saliba, and Ngapié, and Timber with the back four with Ray and goal. Rice, Zubimendi in the middle with Eze, Saka, Martinelli, and then Gyökeres up top. Looking on paper, I was reasonably pleased with this. Would you? I know some people talked about, are we overplaying Ben White? And we'll talk about his injury as well if you want. But go on.
Well, no, I was quite happy with the lineup. I did have it in the back of my mind. I wondered whether he'd put Saka on the left and Madueke in on the right after Madueke's midweek performance, but it wasn't to be. But I was very happy with the team, right? Let's get one thing straight. I thought we played badly, right? It was a very poor performance, but by God, Wolves made it hard from minute one. Ferg. From minute one, it was horrible to watch. Horrible to watch.
I think it was, and I think I looked back on Match of the Day, and at one point I counted 7 people, 7 players as defenders for Wolves in the box. Like, I had listened to, I think their manager or maybe one of our podcasts or somebody was talking on the radio in the build-up, because the amount of hype on the UK media about this game was huge. They were making it into this huge, massive game, which worried me a little bit that the media were going so OTT on it. It was 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday night leading up to Christmas. You know, plenty of beers have been had, but 8 o'clock on a Saturday night is absolute crap. We'll talk about that as well. But I was a bit worried about that. But Wolves did what they needed to do, though, Trev. They needed to just, low block.
Do you know what, Ferg? Yeah, I'm not calling Wolves out. I mean, I put a post on social media yesterday, and Gary, our friend from the West Country, had a comment back, and he was exactly right, and I agree with him. Wolves came to do a job, right? They came to disrupt. They came to waste time. They came to give us the least amount of playing time they possibly could. I mean, if they'd have had a stop clock on that game, would have still been there now waiting for it to finish, right? Because it was that bad. But, I mean, I honestly blame the ref, Ferg. And some people will say, yeah, it's an easy thing to do is blame the ref. But when a goal, they've got the rule where the goalkeeper can hold the ball for 8 seconds now. Brilliant. But at a goal kick, you're still taking a minute. Man, you're moving it from one side to the other side, pulling it back, pushing it forward, moving his players around. And the referee must have done it 20 times, pointing at his watch like this. What's that going to do? That ain't going to stop him, is it? He's thinking, Johnson was thinking, you keep pointing at your watch, boys. You keep pointing at your watch, ref. I'm not going to change. You're not booking me, so I'm just going to carry on. I've got a problem with that ref, Ferg.
Well, you nearly went across the barriers at the Vitality Stadium when he sent off Saliba, when he gave a yellow card, and well, he didn't send off Saliba, VAR did, but he's not
Howard
the best
Webb
ref.
did.
Howard Webb did, yeah. He's
Go
not
on.
the best rep, is he?
No. And you know, I don't trust him as far as I could throw him, and that just confirmed it in my mind, that game against Wolves, because I thought you need to do better. You're really not doing very well here. You know, I mean, it's from Liverpool. I mean, I know Liverpool Council were not good at many things, and I reckon the Liverpool Council must have done his haircut, that ref, because he just certainly didn't get it cut like that in a barber's. Yeah, Ferg's going like that. Look, I've got a point up here. If you can click on that square, and that'll take you to YouTube, and then you can subscribe to us. I don't know why you'd want to, but yeah, please feel free if you do want to.
You get to see Hilsey fully clothed more often.
That's a rare sight.
Alex, when I asked you yesterday when we were talking about on message about the games, I said, give us a couple of your key talking points that you wanted to talk about. And this 11 behind the ball, or 7 defenders, and it was constantly this low block. What's the root problem of us having such an issue with breaking down these teams with a low block? Is it because we don't have a striker that's performing right? Is it because the midfield isn't working right? Where is the issue? What is the issue? I'm not saying that that's the issue, but I'm just asking it.
Well, I mean, clearly we do have an issue breaking down these teams, and I think, I mean, as Trev said, they did a really good job of disrupting the rhythm of the game and taking their time on the set piece and so on. But I mean, that's expected from teams like Wolves, who are far down in the table, and I mean, most other teams in the Premier League as well, they're going to come to the Emirates and play games like that. So, and it's been like this for 3-4 years now, where we've really struggled when we don't get an early goal against these sort of teams. And I just struggle to understand why, because we've been on runs before where we go and put 4, 5, 6 past teams, but away from home more often than at home, which is and also in the Champions League as well. We put 4 past Atletico Madrid, we put 3 past Bayern. So I mean, we just got to find a way somehow, and I think it doesn't help that Gyökeres is still struggling, and we're still struggling as a team with him up front at the moment, and not really finding him. And Arteta said it himself, it is a combination of the team trying to adapt to the way he runs and the way he plays, and Gyökeres as well adapting to the team. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a long season if every home game is going to be like this. Hopefully it was just a collective day off, and we'll be back to playing our best against Everton in the weekend.
I'm hoping so. Being the away team might make us easier, because the home team might come at us a little bit more. But Trevor, the first 25 minutes of that half was non-eventful. Nothing goalmouth action, anything else. The first half, effectively, was, I think, Gyökeres and Timber came together. Timber headed the ball out of the way of Gyökeres. Was the only real event in the first half.
Yeah. It was poor, wasn't it? You know, after the Sunderland game, I thought the days of us being beaten by the low block had gone away, because we were absolutely superb to come back from 1 down at Sunderland. But by God, it come back and bit us in the foot against Wolves, didn't it? I'm loath to pick out Gyökeres, because I still think he's putting in every effort. I don't think he's the best striker we've ever had, never going to be. But he's not received a ball at his feet. I can't remember him receiving a ball at his feet on a run since we've had him, maybe, you know?
No, we said this thing before, where he seems to be more concentrating on the player he's come up against rather than watching the ball and following it over.
Yeah, no, I'm talking but he has been running. Yeah, I get that, Ferg, and you're right. I agree. Yeah, but he also there was once in particular against Wolves when he ran into space and he could have been found and he wasn't found. Now that happens in every team, right? Every team, not every team sees every striker make a run and give him the ball, you know. But we seem to have a big lack of it at the moment with Gyökeres. I mean, I think we've got to stick with him, and I think that. What's I've got to be careful. I don't want to be seen to being no, I'm not being
You're
against
not being
players.
horrible. You're just
Never
discussing
am.
what you think.
I thought that Eze was going to be the difference, right? I thought Eze was going to be the man that was going to loosen up defences for us. And so far, apart from against Tottenham, the obvious one, he's not done that job. He's not done that job.
Yeah, there's been a lot of big changes in the forward areas, though, like with Gyökeres and Eze and the likes, and then trying to accommodate the captain, having Odegaard back fit and ready. I don't know. What did you make of that with the Gyökeres situation, Alex? Because we got the set piece coach that works really heavily on set pieces within the game. Do we have like an attacking coach or a striker coach, and that they should be working with the likes of Rice and Odegaard and Eze to do that link up play to work on finding those balls that Trevor was just talking about, those balls to feet?
I mean, yeah, I'm 100% sure we do have attacking coaches like we have Nicholas Jova. But I mean, I think it's also very limited the amount of time they have to train. Because we've had a midweek game every week, haven't we? Apart from obviously the national international games. But I think sort of what concerned or what sort of annoyed a lot of people was in the Bruges game when Gabriel Jesus came on. I think in the span of that 20 minutes, he had double the amount of touches than Gyökeres had. And I know that they're very different. Jesus drops much deeper and he's much more involved in the game. But yeah, that was just a little bit of a concern, how easy he slotted into the team and how easy he was found the teammates. But I mean, I guess it's just a luxury to have Jesus, and I think maybe that's what he's needed, Gyökeres, a guy pushing him. And now we have Jesus sort of ready to play. Havertz will be back soon as well, and Merino's still an option up top. So I think attackingly, we should start to see more options and more combinations. And then, we've just got the firepower from the bench now when we're struggling against teams, and we can make a difference from the bench.
Dan makes a comment in the chat here. I just saw you put up earlier on. Needs to stop making excuses for Gyökeres and realize what he is. He's a player that makes running in behind to stretch teams. He's not a finisher, but he isn't a back to goal player. His first touch is awful. Do you agree that his first touch is awful, Trevor?
No. Let's remember that Dan is still with pickled from Bruges, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's the 9% beers
from Bruges, right?
Yeah.
And before we move on to that, that's exactly right. We're top of two leagues with multiple injuries. Let's be more positive. Yeah, you're right about that. Absolutely, you're right about that. And we'll come on to that. But we're talking specifically about the Wolves game and why we didn't score. And Jesus is back and he's buzzing, he's flying. You can see he's over the moon, right? But don't forget, the reason we were saying we needed a striker last season and the season before was because Jesus was playing up front and not scoring enough goals, right? So we're sort of stuck in a vicious circle. I honestly think that when Havertz comes back, he starts, right? I really do. And I'm interested to see how Havertz works with Eze, right? And Madueke, because it's a different setup completely. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Dan's saying now that his first touch is terrible, right? And I'm not going to disagree or agree either way because I've not seen enough of him. And
Dan goes on to say about in Portugal, he gets a bit more time or someone. It's a different league. So like the Premier League is going to be like we scored 54 goals in 52 games or something like that. You are going to do that in the Portuguese league if you've got the talent he's got. He's not going to do that in the Premier League. And there's one guy who's Haaland, but Haaland is like a completely different beast. And I didn't hear it, but Andrew texted me at halftime. Trevor, you mentioned it on the tweet that you put out this morning. Booing at halftime. Did you hear it, Trevor?
Yeah, I did hear some of it. Yeah, Gary Jones, by the way, there, Ferg. Look, we did play keep ball for an awful long time against Wolves with no with no penetration. Look,
Yeah.
right, yeah. At half time, I heard a few boos around the stadium, right? And I don't know, my view on that is that everyone is entitled to express their feelings, right? And I respect that. But we're there to support. What good does that do the team? You know,
It
what good
doesn't.
does that do the team? All right, I wasn't going to cheer my head off and scream and shout and happily cheer off the pitch. I wasn't going to do that, but I wasn't going to boo. I wasn't going to boo. So I think it's detrimental. I think it probably has a negative effect because over the time we've done this podcast, we've talked to a few players and that, and they talk about how the interaction from the fans can have an adverse or a positive effect on players. And there's no doubt that booing them all isn't supporting for me. You know, put it in the comments if you disagree. But
Is this you at halftime? You don't look very happy.
Yeah, I don't
confused.
know what I was doing. No, it wasn't.
Everyone else is cheering, and you're there.
It was during the game. I think that was during the second half, and I don't know. I probably had the I was in the new area. I wasn't in my normal seat. I'd got rid of my seat.
Of course, yeah, you were in block 9. Yeah.
I was around, and I was just thinking, I'm not sure about this seat. There's some good people around there, but I was thinking I probably wanted to be back where I belong, really, in my other seat. Yeah, but come on, boys. As let me go back to this comment. Let me go back to this comment here, right? Let me go back to this comment.
Before you do, just I think Alex has got one final point on Gyökeres. And yes, we will try and be positive, but the game's a difficult game to try. Well, the positive thing is we've got 3 points out of it. We'll get into that. Go on, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, this is not sort of trying to make any excuse for Gyökeres, but I just wanted to point out that nearly every single striker we've seen brought to the Premier League in the last transfer window has struggled, and a lot of signings in general. I think
even a striker who was in the Premier League is struggling.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I think apart from Ekitike, who's on 7 goals in the Premier League, Calvert-Lewin is the sort of new striker signing that scored the most goals in the Premier League, and he's on 5 goals, which kind of says a lot. So, I mean, yeah, it's a dry sort of market for strikers, it seems like, at the moment, apart from Haaland.
Is that because the way of football has been changed a little bit more? Because Arsenal last season done lots on set pieces. We've done a lot, and this season on set pieces, there was a lot of talk at the beginning of the season about the long throw. There was a lot of talk about all this sort of stuff. Is it because the game is like evolved and changed and almost reverted back to what we used to watch years ago, Trev?
No, I just think that we struggle in certain games against not just the low block, but where Wolves were extra clever is that they didn't just low block; they stopped us playing. We didn't have 2 or 3 minutes of continuous play. And they were going down, or the goalkeeper was taking like a minute and a half over a free kick or a goal kick. And when they made their substitutions, I was fuming with Jones because the second player knew he was coming off. The first one ambled off, and the second one didn't move. He actually moved away from the touchline, right? And then he ambled off, and I bet they took 2.5 minutes to do them substitutions. I honestly bet they did. And I know they say the time's added on, but there was 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half. And as I said earlier, if they'd have had a stop clock on it, would have still been in that stadium now watching them play.
Yeah. Ben White got injured. Alex, should he have started in the first place? He's going to be out for a month, they reckon.
Oh, it's such a tricky question. Should he have started? Because we don't know the exact fitness of the players and so on. But it did seem like a lot of football in a short space of time for Ben White, who's been injured a lot and hasn't been playing. I suppose the alternative is he should have started Lewis Skelly, who was the only option off the bench, along with Salmon, maybe. So I mean, it's difficult when we're bare bones in the defense, aren't we? So it just seems like we've got this curse at the moment, especially in defense.
He could have done what he did at Bruges. He could have put Timber out on the right and put Norgard and played him in central defense.
he
Because
could
as
have.
Trevor said, he gave him man of the match. He was like, played really well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just difficult to predict these sort of injuries, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, now that we've got all our attackers back, all our defenders are getting injured, whereas last season it was the other way around, wasn't it? So
Yeah,
yeah,
John's put a great question up there, which you had up a second ago, Trevor. Is it a medical issue, medical teams issue, or is it, there seems to be a lot of similar injuries? I think it's, and we had it in our WhatsApp group earlier today, I think it's the number of games. They've played 24 games already in all competitions this season, excluding traveling halfway around the world and playing, 9-10 games, international games on top of that. So they played at least 30 games, and all our squad, I don't think there's many players that, if fit, don't travel. Trevor?
Ferg, I can't call that a medical team because they'll be doing the
We don't
very
know.
best they can, right? But who else would have played right back then against Wolves?
Timber could have played right back. You could put Norgard as centre half rather than Timber centre half.
Well, in Arteta's press interview, he said he's had to play White in too many games because his options are very limited. Yeah. And he also said that he took a risk with Saliba. He also said in his press interview that he took a risk with Saliba. So, look, right, at the moment, we're all right. But if we lose one more defender, I think we're going to be in trouble. We're having a really bad run. And while we're on defenders, but just changing the subject ever so slightly, I'll say it right now. I had no idea how much we would miss Gabriel, boys. No idea how much we would miss that boy.
He is missed greatly. His leadership.
When he plays set piece impact, 11 matches with him, 3 matches without him is more than 3 now. Goals from set pieces 7. He's just his influence across the pitch is unreal. Go on, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is completely true. He's such a threat from the set pieces, but I think his mentality and leadership and just the way he is on the pitch and drives us forward, I think I'm not sure that would have happened if he was on the pitch on Saturday. The way we dropped back and yeah, it was just we miss him so much. I think he's going to be back hopefully somewhere in the next few weeks. Same with Havertz as well. Apparently, he's targeting a return before it turns 2026. So I think Havertz and Gabriel will be really, really good additions to the team.
So, Trevor, Saka's crossing throughout the game was really, really good. And he was consistent and in a really, really good game, got man of the match as a result. Our first goal comes from a set piece. Saka puts a corner in. Keeper gets a slight touch to it, bangs off the upright, hits off his arse in the back of the net. Happy days. Great.
Oh, superb.
Yeah. 70 minutes in, that is, around 70 minutes in. Then you think, right, okay, that's it. The floodgates are going to open. Wolves going to come at us. But Wolves carried on to sit deep. And rather than us pushing on a little bit more, we actually then sat back. We sent Gyökeres off at 81 minutes. And then we just seemed to let Wolves, I think it had 3 touches in our penalty area throughout the whole of that period of time up to there. I haven't got the exact stats, but they had subtle touches in our penalty area up to that point. And then we sat back and you could see Odegaard and other players on the pitch going, right, let's hold what we got. We've done this against Villa and we did look knackered and it was a great game against Villa in fairness. But we've done this against Villa. We've done this against Sunderland, that when we get that narrow lead, we try to hold on. But we failed to keep that lead at Sunderland. We failed to keep that lead at Villa, and by more luck than judgment, we have to put the pressure on for them to score the own goals, granted. But by a bit more of luck than anything else, we end up getting 3 points at home. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit of a trend, isn't it? Us getting a 1-goal lead and then sort of turning into a different side completely. Yeah, I ain't got an answer for it. I don't like to see it, though. It's really annoying because, especially against Wolves, who had created nothing anyway, we didn't need to sit back on a 1-0, We could have kept pushing on. by the way, boys, that Johnston old goal gave me great, great pleasure. I normally have a bit of sympathy for players when they score an own goal, but Johnson had been cheating and time wasting from the very first minute of the game. And nobody has ever deserved an own goal more than he did. So, Johnston, suck it up. I love it. Love it. I laughed out loud. As for the going defensive after we go a goal up, Ferg, it's really frustrating. And looking after the game at the reactions of Rice and Arteta, are they finding it frustrating as well because they were not happy with the way we played that game?
Well, Rice's reaction after the game, Gabby actually, and it's amazing. Gabby, apparently his English is not as great as everybody else's, but he's, as you said, his leadership qualities, Alex. He actually came up and was trying to say to Rice, "Calm down." And Rice, I can't lip read, but I'm sure he's saying like, "Sod that! Why we're damn lucky." And some journalists did come along and say, "Why are they out there celebrating when we got damn lucky to get away with 3 points?" Let's look at the positive of that. It's good he's got the heart and the passion about that. But what are we doing about this? Like hanging on rather than pushing on.
Look, right. You can't call them out for walking around the pitch and clapping the fans, win, lose or draw. I expect that. Wasn't referring to you personally. Reel your neck in a bit. Reel your glands in a bit. I was talking in general. I've heard it said that, we shouldn't be celebrating that win. Well, they weren't celebrating that. We're thanking the fans for going, and that has to be done, in my view. But look, boys, how much more are we going to spend talking about these balls? You know what I mean? We've won, right? We're top of the league still. We're top of the Champions League, right? Arteta will have broken every hairdryer in the dressing room after the game, I can assure you, right? And on Everton on Saturday are going to get beasted. They're going to feel the comeback of the Arsenal. I'm telling you now. You heard it here first.
Right. We've had a good chat so far, and we do this every time. It's good to talk. Sadly, local to me, Loughton Tube Station today, somebody went on the train line. I think they're okay, but we don't know the reason why. But people do some awful things at this time of the year. And January, people get down. We support Andy's Man Club as a men's mental health charity. We put this up every week and just remind people it is good to talk. There are, there's Andy's Man Club here. If you go to their website, it was andysmanclub.co.uk, or you can email them at info@andysmanclub.co.uk. Their meetings happen, I think there's 350 places now around the country. They're having like 600-700 new people come to them every week, increasing number of people, which is brilliant, but it's also sad. But it's not there just for suicide prevention. It's there if you're having a tough time, if you've got gambling, drinking, family problems, or you just need somewhere to go and have a cup of tea and a biscuit. They run from 7 to 9 on a Monday night, except for bank holidays. Go to andysmanclub.co.uk if you are going through any sort of difficulties. Trevor, I'll tell you that it hit me a little today when I heard, and just as I was saying it there, like, the local tube station to me, that, somebody went under a train. It's not nice. We've had the conversation before, I know. So, yeah.
It's a bad time of year for it. It's a bad time.
It is.
Lots of people struggle. Struggle. There is help out there. You just have to go and get it. There is help out there. Never, ever, please take a permanent solution to what is always a temporary problem. Yeah? Come on, people.
Stickers, Trev. Stickers.
Hey, we've got stickers.
These are brilliant. We got the graphic. Thank you to Mr. Walsh. He's the one who generated and created the graphic for us, which is our logo. The stickers. Andre got the stickers, and we're getting a few more made up. I tell you what, I did like. I stuck it on a hoodie. It didn't look too bad on a hoodie, Trev. I look shit-faced, by the way.
I don't know if you noticed in that graphic, but he's a very, very realistic picture of what actually happens. Fergus has got his mouth wide open, and I've got mine closed. Just being.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true.
And Ferg has a beer in his hand, and you don't.
Exactly.
These days, that is true.
Red wine. He tried to get me to have a drink on against the Wolves, and I said I can't, Alex. I didn't, but I ended up having a few yesterday. So, a few glasses of red wine makes me sleep well. That really does make me sleep well.
It does.
But yeah, look, come on, boys.
Everton
Coming up to Christmas, right? Listen. When we win on Saturday, that will ensure we're top of the league and top of the Champions League over Christmas. Come on, boys, eh? We're having a wonderful season. Every team adds hiccups, you know. You look at every team, all 92 teams in the Football League pyramid, in the top divisions in England, everyone has dodgy periods. We had one against Wolves. We'll be back against Everton. I just know now someone is bookmarking this and getting ready to chuck it right back in my face. But I don't care. Because I love the Arsenal.
So, Alex, will Everton bounce back after a 2-0 defeat to Everton, to Chelsea? I don't think they've won at Chelsea for 31 games. So, I think they're probably... Dan said, mulled wine makes you sleep by 7 p.m. 7 p.m. European time, which is 6 p.m. UK time. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So, will they bounce back? Listen, I think Sean Dyche is doing a really good job. I think Grealish is a really good addition to their squad. The new stadium makes a noise and a half, but our away fans, they'll make a bigger noise. And I'm quietly confident going in that, as Trevor is trying to be, we got to go out there and make right the wrong that happened not the wrong. We got the 3 points. Do you follow what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think as Trev said, I think hopefully Arteta broke every hairdryer in that dressing room after the game, and they'll all be fired up to go against Everton. I mean, we all know Sean Dyche and the way he sets up his teams, and they're always tough games to play. Physical teams usually, though they will be without Dewsbury Hall, I think, who's been one of the better players this season. They'll be without Grealish, it sounds like, as well. And also NDI, who's going to the AFCON, I think. So I think they are missing a couple of key players as well.
I've got to get some tissues. Back in a second. We'll talk to the AFCON in a minute. You two chat away.
Yeah. So
go on, sorry.
No, I just mean I'm also quietly confident that we'll go there and bounce back and put in a better performance against Everton. I'm confident. How do you see it, Trev?
Yeah, apart from the fact Sean Dyche is at Forest.
Why did he say that?
You said it.
No, he said it first.
Did he? Oh, well, You're both wrong then. I was just waiting for a moment. Look, Fergus's new way of saying I've got to go for a wee, so I'm going to blow me nose. You know what I mean? So he'll be back in a minute. Yeah. Alex, I got a soft spot for Everton. I don't mind Everton, but we're going to beat them. Don't ask me to get technical about it, anybody out there, because we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We had a few difficult games against Everton up until a couple of seasons ago, and we've been better recently. And we're gonna bounce back. We're gonna show what champions are made. I
can't hear you, by the way.
We're going to show what champions are made of. And we're going to go to Everton and we're going to get a nice win. We are. And it's the Saturday before Christmas in Liverpool, which is, I've been there a few times, the Saturday before Christmas in Liverpool. I've got family up there and it is absolutely mental. There are thousands and thousands of people out in the pubs getting drunk, looking forward to Christmas. And then they're going to stick 2,500 Arsenal fans in amongst those. So it could be a really, really good night. It could be a really, really interesting night, to say the very least.
McCooley's on Matthew Street will be fun that night. I did say Sean Dyche. That was my mistake. I meant to say David Moyes. So, well, hey, listen, it's not a Guns and... Yeah, I know. But it's not a podcast of Guns and Yellow Ribbons without me fucking something up somewhere along the line, is it?
I mean, we've been enjoying Sean Dyche over the weekend, haven't we?
Yes.
And his win against Tottenham.
Yeah, absolutely. That was what was in my mind, actually, I think. Yeah. Oh, that was funny. In the local pub, they had the West Ham game on this TV and the Tottenham game on the other TV with the Conservative in the stage sort of area. And there wasn't a peep out of them. There was quiet as hell.
At least they got their scarves. They got their scarves, didn't they? The Tottenham fans.
Yeah. I was going to make a comment, but I thought given what happened globally, I didn't make any comments whatsoever. So, who are we going to line up at the back, Trev? You know,
But it'll be
Whoever's fit.
Timber,
bring your boots,
Saliba,
mate.
Hincapié and Calafiori, won't it?
Yeah. I don't think
Yes.
we're going to have any other options.
Nothing wrong with that back four. We've got Skelly on the bench and Heaven on the bench. Norgard on the bench.
We don't have Heaven on the bench.
Heaven. Now you
Heaven's
fucked
at Man
up.
United. You've
Oh, not
done
Heaven.
it
Who
now.
was you
That's
thinking about
dreadful.
then?
Salmon.
Salmon. See, that sounds the same though. Salmon, Heaven. It's an easy mistake to make.
Dice, Moyes, same thing.
I'm going to swear on here in a minute. Yeah, we've got a back four that could get in most Premier League teams, right? We've got a couple of defenders on the bench, and we've got Norgard who can slip in there if we need him to. Marino played centre half not so many years ago, so yeah, we'll be all right. Really, what is worrying me is, are we going to break Everton down? Are we going to do the business against Everton? And I think it's going to be a positive. Yes, we are going to beat Everton. And then we're going to go out in Liverpool and Saturday before Christmas and have a red wine or 5.
Calafiori is back as well because he was only a 1-match ban because of his yellow card.
I said Calafiori.
You did. I was reading the comments.
Yeah. Listen, right. Why I just mentioned pubs there, right? And it's the game on Saturday night, Ferg, is 8 o'clock Saturday night. You don't get many of them, do you?
Nope.
So as I'm going to the ground, going past the boozers in Upper Street, there's so many people standing outside them all over the pavement, not misbehaving, just having a drink. No football fans, just like people are visiting out for their night out, right? And the police are about there and they're doing absolutely, just watching. But if you dare to be a football fan that takes 1 inch step outside the line on them pavements, they'll steam into you or they'll loose the dogs on you. You know what I mean? Why have we gone full circle? Look, we've got such a bad rap, us football fans, and we don't deserve it. Anyway, sorry, I just thought I'd say that then.
He went off on one of those tangents. Didn't even know where that one was coming from.
Me neither.
I did.
But Trevor, I think the good point and the good thing to remember though is that the Everton game is, as you said, 8 o'clock on Saturday night. That gives us plenty of time to rest, recover, do some training, do some set pieces, do some maybe work with the midfield and the forward lines to see if they can work things out. They've had plenty of time to play football together, but maybe not necessarily to train together. I agree with Simon as well that it's an awful kickoff time. 8 o'clock. It's great if you're up there, but like if you want to get up and get back, you can't. The last train back from Liverpool is 8:12, and the kickoff time is 8 o'clock. So hotels, you're lucky enough you got family in the area, but hotels are fortunes to stay up there. Last weekend at Christmas, it almost brings us back into the World Cup ticket prices that you touched on. They're outpricing things like this. Outprice real football fans out of football. I like working class, normal people.
It's the start of it. I'm telling you, people out there, it's the start of it, Robin. And right, I took a look because the World Cup's in America. I took a look at the sports facility and ticket pricing model in America, right? And people, working class people like ourselves and middle class people, are being priced out of going to games, to sporting events in America because ticket prices and the associated facilities have gone up miles beyond inflation. People can't afford to go, right? That's the American sporting model. And what worries me now is that we've got so many American owners in the Premier League and we don't need many more American owners, and they have the vote that what they say will go. And it really worries me because, I mean, I don't find it easy to do what I do now. A few more quid going and I'm going to be priced out of going. And I want to go and see my football team. But it's really, really worrying. Anybody out there, you do a little bit of work on what they charge people to go into American sporting venues. The working class people don't go anymore. Or they might go to one game a season, They don't go anymore. You're priced out of it.
Trev,
and that is coming here, and I don't think there's anything we can do about it, Ferg.
You went to New York, didn't you, with Donna a couple of years back, and you were lucky enough to get nicer seats because you were chatting to a guy. But how much did you pay for those seats in the Gods?
Oh, I can't remember now. I can't remember.
My boss has just gone to the MetLife Stadium and he's watched a game of American football. He's like probably 4 tiers up. There's snow on because it's cold anyway, but there's snow on the seats. He's exposed and open and everything else. And I think he paid $300-400 a seat.
Yeah.
And then you're going to pay $30-40 for a beer. And the worrying thing is the Premier League comprises of 20 teams. They need 14 to have a majority. And as of last season, I think 11 of the 20 were American owned. Arsenal, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Palace, Everton, Fulham, Liverpool, Man United, just to name a few of them that are owned by they then can take control. Like we talked about European Super League where everything changed for how the Cronkies dealt with the Arsenal fans. But if they get a majority, can change rules, like they could make it no relegation. I'm not saying this is going to happen because I don't think they could get away with it these days, but they could make it no relegation, or they could change the whole thing completely, change ticket pricing, the lot. We've got to be very, very careful.
That's a bit more specific than I was thinking, but you're right, Ferg. You're right. I'm a big generalizer, man. The way I look at it, the bigger picture is that the people that I go to football to meet, yourself, Alex, all them people we meet in the pub before and at the game, during the game, if we're not very, very careful, they're all going to be gone. You know, you're all going to be there. You're going to be meeting them in the pub to watch the game on the TV, right? Because I'm telling you, for now, there's more and more money going into the game. There's more and more money being spent on salaries, blah blah, and they've got to find a way of getting more money in and making more money, because these owners are not just in it for the love of the game, not at that level. They want to make money, you know. The American sports model worries me greatly. We're getting closer and closer to it. How do we stop it, though? I don't know, Ferg.
Alex, you'll know more than anybody else what media and sport, because there's the field you work in and the money-making side of it and how they click to make money and so on. A couple of things just to touch on. You mentioned AFCON a little while back. We don't lose any any players at the AFCON. The worst ones hit are Sunderland, and we played Sunderland when they were at the sweetest point, and I think Man City play them away when they lose 25% of their squad to the AFCON. But listen, I suppose you think back to the Wenger days when we had our French African players. We lost loads of players back then, so I'm just glad we're not losing any. Alex, it was a really good picture you sent us beforehand, a graphic you sent to us beforehand, which is our next 6 fixtures.
Yes.
And how we got on with those 6 fixtures the last time. We didn't win one of the next 6 opponents we play fixture-wise. And if we rewind back to the start of the season and we look at the run-in we had with West Ham, Fulham, Newcastle, where I think we had got 2 points from memory out of those 3 games, and I think it was another game as well included in that, and we ended up with I think 9 out of 12 or something. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, but we didn't get a point out of these 6 fixtures, and the 6 fixtures are away to Everton, home to Brighton, home to Villa, away to Bournemouth, home to Liverpool, and away to Forest. What's your expectation for these 6, and what's your thoughts?
I mean, certainly that we get more points than last season. I think that was one of our biggest problems last season, and that was we just drew way too many games and couldn't find a winner in a lot of the games. So it's a good opportunity to sort of gain some points, sort of head to head on last season. But I mean, they all count the same, don't they? And we just need more points than Man City, it seems like, this season to win the league. But yeah, it does seem like a key run of fixtures these next games, and it's over a very congested period as well, isn't it? So
It is. It is.
it's going to be a tough run, but I mean, I just pray that we don't get any more injuries and we start getting the players back, the likes of Gabriel and Havertz. I'm confident the squad can do it. I think we've already been tested a lot this season and pulled through. But yeah, I mean, let's just go to Everton and start off this run of these 6 fixtures. Yeah, the Villa game is going to be really tough. We struggled away from home, didn't we? But it's different at home, even though we have had trouble playing Emery and playing Villa. So hopefully we can sort of turn that bad spell we've had against Villa.
Trev, what's your thoughts on it? You know, if we look at those 6 fixtures again, Everton away, Brighton and Villa at home, Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home, and Forest away. If we can better the results that are on there, which was 5 draws and 1 loss, if we can better, and the loss was because of that referee that you don't like very much as well, by the way. If we can better those results, surely that should put us in a really, really strong position going into the new year.
Firstly, I'm really pleased I told Alex about that stat, because it's a cracking stat, right? It really is a great stat. Come on, let's be positive. All of those 6 games are winnable. Alex is frozen. Yeah. Look, I bet he's fuming. He's frozen. Look. All of those 6 games are winnable, and yeah, why shouldn't we win them all? We've had a bit of a bad spell, but so does every team, you know. So yeah, we're going to bounce back, and we'll bounce back this weekend, I'm sure, and then we'll be flying again. We'll be off again. Yeah, and come on, let's have the 18 points, eh?
Yeah, Tony's put up here. I don't know what that is. Boys missed the talk on defensive late to the party. Okay, I don't know.
It's all right, Tone. Fergus was boring anyway during that, so you never miss much, mate. You know,
yeah, I probably got the names wrong as well, Tom, so don't worry about it all. Boys, that was really enjoyable. Just over an hour. We got 461 people watching in the chat. Remember, we do have a sponsor. We'll pop them back up again. It's Complete Nutrition. They sponsor our show. Go to their socials at the moment, Complete Nutrition. You'll find them on Instagram and TikTok, etc. They do start selling their nutrition products, which are UK designed and sold in January. But go to their socials, and once they start selling, you can get a 10% off by using the code Gunners. Trevor, anything to add?
You too could be fit and slim like me. Go to Complete Nutrition. Press the button.
We're going to snip that. I got to send it them tonight. Oh, let me press this button. Oh, there. I should have got the one from the pub. I meant to get the clip that we done from the Woodbine. I put it in the WhatsApp group at the weekend, because Sam, who does a never in that, done it proper again, and I was just going around the Woodbine as well. It was really good. Alex, thank you as always for joining. It's a pleasure. I expect I'll be seeing you in January then.
Yes, definitely. Hopefully be back for the Liverpool game and stay over for the Portsmouth game as well. So,
have you downloaded the app, Shea Keating?
No, but I'll have to do so.
Yeah, you'll need to download the app. So you need to make it. Everything's digital now. All the bookings are done online.
Yeah, I need to put in a request. See if the pickup service is available as well.
Yeah. You want the show? Oh, you want the VIP treatment? Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Trev,
it's expensive though.
but yeah, but it's chipping down in January. Trevor, I will see you Brighton, won't I? Are you down for Palace or not?
I'm not sure. I've not made my mind up yet. It's a big day for me, the 23rd. I've got 6 grandkids, you know what I mean? And they take up, and it's Christmas, so it's family first. So it'll probably be Chelsea, Everton this weekend, and then Brighton, definitely. But I may be at Palace, who knows? But listen, just to reconfirm what we've said already, Ferg, right? It was a bad day against Wolves, right? And we had a right to talk about it in depth. And the reason we had a right to talk about it in depth is because this season, it hasn't happened very often. So we've got to look at how we get back to where we were. And I'm sure that Arteta will have already done that. And on this weekend, on Saturday evening, the boys won't let us down. You know, I'm still excited. We're still top of the leagues, Champions League, European Super League, whatever you want to call it, and the Premier League. You know, we're still doing it. We will still do it. So yeah, look forward to it. Come on, you Gunners. Hey, Ferg, what do you reckon, son? Hey?
Yeah.
How's your glands? Ferg,
how's my glands?
Ferg, next time I see you, can I tickle your glands?
You done that in Seville, remember? Oh no, Madrid.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Right, you have been watching Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. I will probably speak to you all Friday, and we may see you at some point over Christmas. But yeah, just check out social media to see when we're going to be, because dates and times might move around just depending on people's family commitments. Because as Trevor said, family come first. I'm not down for the Palace game because my daughter and my son-in-law fly in from Germany on the 23rd, and then we'll be here, and then it's Christmas. You've got 18 for dinner, Trevor. 18. Wow.
18,
That's an own goal.
I can't believe that there's actually 18 people that would want to eat your cooking.
Alex, have a word. Alex has had my cooking. My cooking's not bad. Thank you very much.
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah, surprisingly good. Nearly as good as a cold beer in my fridge. Up the Arsenal. Fuck Spurs.
Oh.
Thanks for listening to Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Follow us on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons or Twitter at Guns and Ribbons. And remember to rate and review us too. Up the Arsenal.